After you send your file to Brand Tuning, you'll receive this questionnaire. This questionnaire helps them build a better file for your vehicle. The first thing you're going to want to do is reply to the email, of course. I say reply because you want to keep everything in the same email thread. If you create a new email thread, it may get lost in the few hundred emails they get a day. So if you continue to email through the same email thread, it's for the best. You're going to copy these questions. So right-click, copy, and then you go ahead and right-click, paste. Now I've already taken the liberty of filling the answers out here so we can do this a little quicker. So the first question here is what products have you paid for, basically. So I said stage 1. Now you can find out what products you paid by the invoice on which you paid for. You get an email that says, hey, this is your order number, this is what you paid for. Select whatever, or write down whatever you've paid for, or ask your dealer what you paid for so you can select what stage or whatever you paid for there. The second question is going to be, what's your name? That's pretty obvious. You put the customer name. Year, make, model. This is all should be pretty easy to figure out. Map 1. Okay, so map 1 basically is a pump fuel octane map. So of course I'm on the West Coast here. This is going to be 91 for me. For you, it may be 93. I put 91, of course. And the second map, this is map 2. This is going to be your race map or your race fuel map. So if you want to get more aggressive, put new fuel in it, you can run MR12. So I'm going to say MR12 on this one. And also keep in mind that when you're getting the email back for the file, you may only receive one file for questions 6 and 7. So you may receive one file that's adaptive for both of those fuels. Depends on what bike you have. Some bikes may require the 2 files, some bikes only require the 1 file, so keep that in mind. The last 7 of the VIN. This is pretty easy too. This can be found on the motorcycle itself or on your insurance card. Either of those things should have the VIN number completely. We just need the last 7 of it. Modification list. This is pretty important as well, as the tuning itself is tailored specifically for these modifications. So I said Sprint P08 filter, IET relocation, and full Acura exhaust. That's pretty standard stuff in these bikes. Of course, you put down everything else that you have on here. I mean, put down everything, even the cosmetic stuff. It helps us understand exactly what you're doing with the motorcycle and how it's being used. So let's say you have an extended swing arm. That helps us kind of say, okay, well, this person's more kind of for straight line stuff. We got to make something a little different on the tuning for that. So make sure you write all that down. It is important. Number 10, any previous tunes on the bike. If you don't know, just put, I really don't know. If it's a bike that you just got from used or something, that didn't really come up in the conversation, that's fine. If you do know, let us know. Like, okay, I got this tune somewhere, or I got this up map from somewhere, or whatever it is, just let us know what it is. 11, fuel controllers. So Bazaz, PC5, that means Power Commander, or Rapid. If those are installed, just let us know. If it's not there, just say no. Are the O2 sensors in place? Yes. Okay, I put mine to yes because I have no fuel controller. If you have a fuel controller, it's likely that you're not going to have your O2 sensors in place. Or it should be that way. Of course, if it's a Power Commander, for example, you will not have your O2 sensors in the bike. So this answer would be no for the O2 sensors. Now, this is important because we don't, or Brand Tuning doesn't do the fueling if you already have a fuel controller on the bike. Meaning, if you send us something that says, okay, I'm going to have my Power Commander, we're not going to bother with the fueling whatsoever. It's going to be sent to you, and you're going to have to go to the dyno after the fact and get the fueling dialed in after we send you the file for the motorcycle. Any check engine lights showing on the dash. Okay, this one's important too. Of course, if you have a check engine light, you have a handheld now, so the handheld can actually read what code it is. So go ahead and if you have a code, put yes and put the code on there. If it's just a service light, don't worry. Don't worry about a service light. Just put no anyway. Any current drivability issues? Again, this is important as for the flash, because if there are issues and we flash it and it makes those issues worse or better, we like to know that kind of thing. So please, any kind of, like the bike falls on its face at 9,000 RPM, it's bone stuck, I don't know what's wrong. Obviously, you shouldn't be doing that, so let us know. Any deletions from electronics? I put no, of course, but let's say you're stretched to the moon or something like that and you took out your ABS system. That's something we need to know, so please indicate that on that question. Current mileage of the motorcycle, that's pretty easy to figure out. Just put down what the motorcycle says at the dash there. Mileage of spark plugs were replaced. I put stock because there's only 800 miles in this thing, but if you're running a race bike, for example, you want to make sure these spark plugs are changed out once a year, maybe once every 5,000 miles. it's cheap insurance. I mean, if the bike starts breaking up, starts doing some weird stuff, sometimes it's just the plugs. It's real easy to figure that one out. So just food for thought there. When was the last time the software was updated on? Okay, and I just put 12.1 as a first service measure. If you don't know, you can just put like, I don't know. I took it to the dealer. I have no idea if they updated or not. They didn't let me know. Just let us know what you know. Any other notes we should know? If this is like something like a drag bike only or a purpose-built bike, like I put up this answer, this bike is track only. If you have a drag bike only, just say, I'm just drag racing this thing. I'm only doing track racing. It's only going to be on the street. Whatever the case may be, it helps us tailor the tune because we can change certain things that tailor it for that kind of riding. Dealer was ordered from. So if it's ordered from Bren Tuning, for example, please put your Bren Tuning order number. If it was ordered from a dealer, just put what dealer it was. Let's just say it was, Moto Million or something like that. Just put Moto Million and whatever the order number is there. If your dealer doesn't have an order number, that's fine. Just put the dealer there, and we'll talk to them directly. This is the device serial number. This can be found on the back of the handheld, at the bottom back of the handheld, a little sticker. Just write this serial number down so we can associate that handheld with you specifically. Date and time the ECU was read on. This is the time that you've plugged the handheld into the motorcycle and pulled that initial file out of the motorcycle. I put that as today. And of course, the date and time it was last at the dealer. I put that as yesterday. Now, if you visit the dealer after, and I say after, I mean, we pulled the file out of the motorcycle and then you took it to the dealer, you may have an issue because the dealer may update the software and that will likely cause an issue with updates. So make sure that you read the file from the motorcycle after you visit the dealer, not before you visit the dealer. And how'd you hear about us? This is important too. Please put something down because it helps us kind of be more active on certain things. We only have a few people here, believe it or not, and those people are kind of spread thin. So we need to make sure where the most people are, where they have the most questions, we need to dedicate the people to those outlets. So if we have more people on Facebook, if more people on YouTube, it helps us do everything here. Please answer all these questions just like this, and even leave the questions on there in this exact format. This is the best way to answer. Don't print this thing out. Don't write on a piece of paper and take a picture of that paper and send it to us. We've seen that before. This all needs to be searchable through email just in case there's an issue. Like I said, hundreds of emails a day. After a few days, all of a sudden, we're at thousands of emails. So it gets lost. So we got to search it by name. We got to search it by certain keywords. So please, just like this. Other than that, you should get your file within 2 business days or 1 to 2 business days after you send this in. And that's that.